Morning, it's Jay from I Wonder UK. We spent the night just the other side of the Gunnel, I think it is, at Newquay. Tried to get the footpath yesterday, as you've seen on the previous video. It's 7:30 in the morning, the tide is going down now, but it's still struggling. So I've got plenty of time to get my tent away, but I'm actually in the woods. The sun's come out, which would be wonderful for drying the tent, but I'm just tucked up in the woods there. I'll just show you a quick view of where we were. Today we're going through to Perranporth, so I don't think it's that hard a walk, I don't think it's that longer walk. I think it's about 10 or 11 miles, so I'm not really that bothered that we have a late start, so I'm going to try and allow my tent to dry out. But like I say, I'm tucked up in the woods. I'll show you where I am in a minute. This was the challenge last night, this footpath just here that runs up there was actually covered in water, and then one of the locals advised me that the basin would be even deeper. I did have a quick look. There was, I don't know, 9-10 inches of water just coming down to the side bits here, like for example here, and so I had to backtrack for 10 minutes and then ended up the other side of here. So all of those people there, and I've been stuck on this side on my lonesome overnight, which suits me, just tucked up in these woods here, which I didn't realise when I first walked past. Just take you up through this gate and I'll show you. Yeah, bit of a godsend, to be honest with you. Literally 20-30 metres away from the gate there, and for the night managed to clear enough twigs and sticks out of the way. Managed to get a little pitch down here. Pretty level, tent stood up as it always has done. To be honest with you, it was cold last night, and I'm not sure if the sleeping bag insulation is moving about a bit because I've got a cold back. Woke me up a couple of times, but not too bad. Like I say, we're on the way to Perranporth today. I'll pack up and then join you later. Like I say, tucked up in the woods. I'm literally just up a few steps, 30 or 40 metres. Managed to clear enough of a passageway. Not a passageway, sorry, a little bit of a clearing to bung my pitch down there. But like I said, we'll get this packed away and start day 17 with the South West Coastal Pass Challenge. This is quite pleasant. Get my morning brew on outside. I think this is the second, maybe third time I've done this in 16 days. Normally I have to be laying down inside the tent and cooking it, so this is a luxury. And we're off. The proper start of day 17. As you can see, the pathway is still draining off. This was all flooded yesterday. It's starting to drain away now, and with the sun, hopefully it'll dry out fairly quickly. Not going to get too wet or too muddy boots for the start of the day. Let's go explore, find out. I'm guessing this is what that lady referred to as the basin. This is no real path now. It's dried out now, obviously, but you can see where it was up to last night. Not too high, I suppose. Could have got a little shelter on the side, but never pitched a tent up on there. So we'll carry on. It could be. If not, I'll find somewhere else and I'll point it out to you. Here's the bridge you can get across on low tide. I've just come down from that way, so it would have saved quite a bit of walk. Had to walk down to the centre of the screen then and back up again, and then duck down a little bit in the centre of the screen now, just in a little bit of woodland. But we'll press on and see if we can find a way out of here and try and get Newquay behind us. I think I can see a marker post just up there, but I still got the hazards of trying to get through this, which looks several inches deep, perhaps if not a foot. See if I can find a way to get across this bit. Right, we're off the wet sand, which is nice, because that really saps your strength. Still quite squishy, and that little ditch is still like 4 or 5 inches of water. Let's see if we can negotiate our way through this, and then first port of call, I guess, is Crantock. Looking forward to it. if you can get over that low bridge and it's the end of the day and you're camping, literally within a couple of minutes after you come off the side of the river, there's a bit of grassland. It's not ideal, but if you're pushing at the end of the day and you need somewhere desperately, not perfectly level, but have a little look around, you might be able to find something. After about 30 minutes gentle striding, getting off that wet sand, we've got the first sighting of the sea again, so we're back on coastal. This is the last little look at Newquay. Well, I think this is Pentire, but a real eclectic mixes of houses. You go from like ultra modern there, all full of glass, down to something like that would suit me. That would be ideal. Looks like a boat store or something like that, but put a door in it and I'd live in it. Anyway. Press on and let's get at this. As you come away from the river, through like a little bit of shrubland, it's fairly easy to navigate. There's a couple of marker posts, just keep going straight as you can. And as you come out, you can view the beach. Go by behind a house, as in inland of the house, and there's a sharp turning right, down a few steps, and then you're out behind the sand dunes of the beach. There's the house you walk behind, the tracks coming here. The beach is just the other side of these grass covered sand dunes, so we're just going to try and find a way through here now. These sand dunes, I think, just behind Perranporth Beach, where I was heading for last night. And there's loads of little places, little flat bits of grass tucked away from the wind and stuff. Would have been ideal. But, you know, last night's was okay. Just to let you know, there's several places here. Don't be frightened to get into here and it'd be sandy. Tucked down right at the back of the sand dunes, inland, right at the back of them. And there's loads of places, almost like a golf course, to be honest with you. Look at this little bit over here. Sheltered from the hill on that side and the hills on that side. Never mind, another time. A last little look over Pentire, where the houses are, and Perranporth Beach. What a lovely little beach. Again, people in the middle there, little dots, just to give you some idea of scale. After I've been walking for a while, like 15-20 minutes, I realised that this isn't a cute little bay. The little car park is right up there, centre of screen, but the beach just goes wider and wider and wider, obviously when the tide's out, but I can't see any people. Just to the right centre of screen now, there's a few people out walking dogs. It's huge. What a beautiful day with the tides out and the, oh my word, it's beautiful. Last little view of Perranporth before we go around the headland and lose it again, because why not? You can see where we were yesterday. Over the other side there is Watergate Bay and Perranporth. Round the corner around to Porth Coffin. Not very visible, but just let you know, the old look back and see what you achieved thing. Like I say, last little look at Perranporth Bay. I'm going to go around the headland and see what's next. Halfway around Perranporth Bay, the path really narrows and the gorse bush is pushing on the right hand side. It might be wise to take your rain cover off. I keep mine on because it just saves time if it does rain, and I also like the security of keeping my shiz together underneath the cover, but it's a bit gnarly and wouldn't want you to rip your rain cover. Another little warning, as you come through, there's a little gate that goes open. It's got a massive advertising sign for a spa, so it makes it look private. Ignore it, walk straight through, because otherwise you end up going inland a little bit and then back out again and just walked another 300 or 400 metres for absolutely no reason. But we're out in the clear again now, so let's get out. Out on the headland now at Pentire Point West, and you can hear the winds getting up. Just having a little look into Porth Joke there. Back out onto that headland there, Kelsey Head, and then we'll be looking over Holywell Beach. Let's go and have a look. little small inlet of poly joke, but it's lovely. Privileged to see this when the tide's out and it's a sunny day. It makes this look so much larger. But just got to go across this little footbridge, and then we'll be out the other side, going on the headland out to Kelsey Head. Coming out the other end of Porthjoke. It is another deceiving little beach that's actually quite big. Quick view of up ahead, going out to Kelsey Head. I quite like it when you can see where you're going, especially when it's easy going and not steps. Walking out from Porthjoke out to Kelsey Head. And who do we see down here? Sitting there sunning himself. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, perhaps 12 of them. I saw one the other day, it was like a dot. Oh, there's another one coming out now to join them. Amazing. Well, there's a special moment. Just walking out of Porthjoke up to Kelsey Head, and just had a little look down and saw about a dozen seals. I've been keeping an eye on them. I have saw one about a day ago, but it was like a pinhead. Lots of people on the internet have said they've been seeing them down here this year. But that's the first little, I don't know what we call it, pod, herd, whatever, I've seen. Very special. Happy chappy. Coming around to Kelsey Head now, and the last little look back on where we were just this morning. Newquay just over the hill there, and what we've done over the last day or so. Last little look back, because there's going to be more views as we come around the corner going the other way, the way we're going. Looking out to Gull Rock, and a little glimpse of what we got over the next couple of days on the headland as it's starting to clear, and then sweeping back into Holywell Bay, which looks huge already. So how far it goes in, I don't know, we'll find out. Nice gentle stroll along this grassland, all the way down to Holywell Bay again. Look at the size of it. Some little people in there. Lots of people walking dogs. What size? Look at the size of the beach. So imagine the size of those waves. The wind's getting up, so I apologise if you can't hear me, but the sun's out, so it's countering off. If the either went, then we'd be freezing. It's definitely a nature day. I don't want to get in closer and scare it off, because it's literally just over the path there. Coming through the sand dunes through the back of Holywell Bay, and I'm just trying to take 5 minutes, get out the wind. Even though the sun's out, the wind coming off the sea is chilling, and as soon as you stop, you feel your body temperature start slamming down. But I'm not taking my boots off or anything, just stopping 2 to 5 minutes, just get my breath, check where I am. What a great morning. Seals, kestrel, I think it's a kestrel, not quite sure. If you ever get time, read the book Kes, K-E-S, or watch the black and white film, both of them, amazing. Remind me of when I was a little kid, we had to read it when I was at school. Right, catch you in a bit. Looking for my little sit down point. I need to carry on going through these sand dunes, looking out for the markers, further into Holywell Bay, and then afterwards we come out and out onto the headland there. I think that's Minehead Point, that's where the military base is up there. You can just about see the top, yeah. Make our way about Minehead Point and then make our way round to Ligger Point. So let's go and do that now. Walking through these sand dunes is a little bit of a hard work, but I've had my pack off. The first few days I used to hate doing it. The worst bit of a rucksack Is it emptying it or loading it up in the morning? Neither. It's taking it off when you want to stop for a break and then having to put the bloody thing back on again. I noticed 3 or 4 days when at the end of the day my back was aching and felt tight, and I realised what I was doing wasn't adjusting the waistband again. The problem I've got is I lost 5 kilograms in the first 10 days, and the amount of adjustment on the waistband now is minimal, so I can't cinch it in anymore. Being a bloke, I've not really got hips, and with that weight loss it's made the bag not too big, but it's getting that way. So don't dread it. When you put it back on, take it as an opportunity to retighten it back up again and let it sit more comfortably. Right, gonna crack on through these sand dunes a bit more. There are little marker posts through the sand dunes, but it does still feel like you're exploring. As hard as it is, still a bit of an adventure, and it's a gorgeous day to be having that adventure. I think I need to be heading down over this way a little bit, and I think I passed a cafe or something before I go back out on the hill again. If you are attempting to wild camp here, the back of the sand dunes at Holywell Bay, several different places, and it drops right out of the wind. Now I'm out of the wind, that sun's really warm today, so it'd be a great little spot for wild camping. Last little back view, looking at Gull Island as we come up to Penhale Point. There's a bit of a slope, but there's no steps. And just looking back to the bay. Beautiful. As you come around the top of the headland, past the military islet, if you look out, centre of screen now, first view of Perranporth Sands, and then more out to the headland tomorrow, maybe the day after, and then more headland there, maybe not so viewable in the distance. Now that would be a camping spot. You couldn't get much wilder than that. How many people must have walked through this way to carve through that deep? It must be 4 or 5 foot deep. Path leading up to that little bit there. Sit here for hours just watching these waves rolling in and crashing on the rocks. So relaxing. Oh, you can see light through the other end of that hole. Yeah, definitely light the other side of it. Unfortunately, I haven't got hours to see and watch these waves crashing as much as I'd like to. You can see why it gets all loaded, can't you? Coming around the top of Ligger Point. at the size of the ants. I think it's over a mile long till he actually goes into the corner of Perranporth there. But I'm sticking up on the sand dunes. I've seen the wave coming in about 35 years ago and just flooded every single beach it's on there. So I'm not taking any chances today. After you go around Hoblin's Cove and Ligger Point, you come down and you're basically walking down the side of the cliff path. It's grassy, steep. The pathway is fairly narrow, compact sand, but there's nothing to stop you blowing off. Fortunately, the wind's blowing me on today, but I'm just rechecking the book, make sure that I'm on course. And I'm not going to go down the sands, I walk along the sands because the sea is coming in quick and high tide's in within an hour or so. I just don't want to risk it, so I'm going to go across the sand dunes. So instead of dropping right here and going down to the beach, I'm going to take a left and go up and try and just stay high across the sand dunes there, and then walk all the length of Perran Sands, which this is, and drop down into Perranporth. From here we're looking down Perran Sand, which drops down into Perranporth and the top left there, and then I'll be camping overnight somewhere out there. Not this first headland, but the second headland going out there. I think it's probably St Agnes. I'll double check later. Walking on these dunes behind Perran Sands is okay. It's quite a well established trail. You just need to keep the red and white poles to your left hand side, that's the village area. But it looks fairly straightforward so far. I've been going for 5 or 10 minutes, so it's like this all the way to Perranporth. Again, through these dunes behind Perran Sands, if you find yourself with the wind coming off the sea and you need to just tuck in for the night, there's several little grassy bits, particularly in the first half. I think there's a holiday camp in the second half, but the first half for definite, there's several places. You can be in the middle of the Sahara Desert or something. Well, almost, if it wasn't for that giving it away. Perran Sands, going into our first little view of Perranporth. Need to get over there, I think, yeah. I'm sticking in the sand dunes for the last little bit. Not sure if that's right, but decision made, isn't it? So I made a decision, stick with it. It's either going to be wrong or right. We'll see. Comes out here, which it's either this one or that one. Went to a Pirate FM 80s night 5 or 6 years ago. Pretty good night. It's not all glamorous open countryside, see vistas and views. I've had to Perranporth just pop into the co-op just to restock up on food, make sure I've got something for tonight and tomorrow, because I'm not sure what I'll be able to get. The sun is still trying to be out, but it's gone white cloudy just in the 10 minutes I've been inside the co-op. But here's my view where I'm sitting on a little bench. Marvellous, eh? And here's the other side. Here's a little bit of a look back at Perran Sands. That's where I would have been walking. Well, probably would have made it because I've just popped in town to get some food, but I didn't want that feeling of being rushed. I'm trying to slow this down and enjoy it a little bit more. Last little look at the sea. After Droskin Point Youth Hostel, I'm not sure if this is the bit where you want to be if you're suffering from vertigo. Here's the path. I'm not getting any closer than that. Looking back to Droskin, I think that's how it's pronounced, Point. That's the youth hostel. Amazing venue, but imagine that when it's windy out here. Winds die down at the moment, but there's nothing to protect it. Just get blown off in the middle of the night. Ha. This little section approaching, I think it's Sigurhead, reminds me on the approach to Valley of the Rocks. Gnarly rocks above, with a little path, and the sea below. But the path's no good. Valley of the Rocks, I think it was tarmac. It was a nice flat path for sure, slightly wider. There you go. That's cool, a little swag thing or something, I guess. I don't know how far it goes in. I'm not going to try. But this isn't so cool on a path that's down to there. Saying that though, look at the colour of the sea. Couple of more little hidey holes. Sneaky little buggers. When I was planning and organising this challenge for myself, I sort of blindly followed the book initially, but the unfortunate thing is I committed to booking a hotel on the 10th in Bude. So for the first 10 days I had to stick to that commitment. My sister asked me a couple of days ago, well 4 or 5 days ago actually, am I actually having fun? And I think the honest answer at the time was, I'm trying to, but it's physically so tiring and I'm trying to push all the time that I'm not having time to actually have fun. So for the last few days I've deliberately slowed it down a bit. I'm still trying to achieve 10 mile, 12 mile a day, but I'm actually taking time to stop, and all the things that you can see or would like to see or don't even know you're there, you get time to stop and enjoy. And to be honest with you, it's been a lot more fun. It's worth the dredge carrying all the stuff on your back when you've had a good day. You get to the end of the day and you can't. You get desperately because you're exhausted. What did I actually do today? You've lost it. Just stick to your own plan. Do what you want to do. The mileage is there is the challenge for sure, but I wanted to get out and see all this coastline before it was too late. So just do you. You be you. Enjoy and do what you want to do when you want to do it, or what time scale you want to do it. Oh, over my shoulder, last little look at Perranporth. I stand corrected, sorry, not Perranporth, I keep calling that, it's Perran Sands over there, and you can just see the youth hostel in the middle there. I'm sure this is a film set location for Star Trek. Landed on some planet, something went wrong, they made it good, it was all good in the end. It just looks very, yeah, weird. Right at the end of this Sigurhead. Just coming around Sigurhead now and you can see the weather's changed, the sun's gone, the wind's coming in, the temperature's dropping, now we come back later. Just look at the colour changes. It fascinates me. That's rugged for you. couldn't not explore it, could I? It's a shame there's all this shit around on the floor. It'd be ideal to just snap up here for the night. Nice little outlook in the morning. You know what my mind's doing. It's actually considering it now, isn't it? Shitty inside here, but in this little bit here, it's a possibility, and there's a good chance it might stay dry. I'm not sure if it's out the wind very much, but I'll have a little look round, see if there's anything else. End of day 17 sorted. Not ideal, but it'd be alright. There's the view for the morning. At the end of this airfield, the other side of Perranporth, tucked into one of these little bunker type things. Ideal. End of day 17, fantastic day. Started off the morning with the challenge of the Gunnell River. Managed to overcome that. I saw some pod or a group or a herd, whatever they are, please let me know, of seals, about a dozen of them on the beach. Literally sat below a kestrel as it hovered. Travel do, fairly straightforward day. My back and my feet are tired, but they always are. So, end of another day and the rain held out. Quick 360. How sunny it was about an hour ago. It's been threatening. No, about an hour and a half ago it was sunny. For the last 45 minutes, an hour, it's been threatening, but it's held off. Thank me. Lucky me. Rather him than me. Here's where I ended up, the end of day 17. Went to Perranporth, about 3 and a bit miles past, but not too bad.